Is Noni Madueke actually worth all this hate that he's been receiving? Is he actually as good as a lot of those fans make him sound like? Is he actually the perfect right wing backup? Is he going to be our left wing option? A lot of questions to be answered in this particular video. I'll go on with it in depth right now. He is one of the most important signings we've made so far in the window, including Zubimendi and probably including Gyökeres in the future, which seems more than likely at this point. I was filming this video yesterday, considering options that Arsenal could consider for the left wing, and all of a sudden I came across Fabrizio Romano's tweet saying that Arsenal has agreed a £52 million fee with Chelsea for Noni Madueke, which is considered by a lot of fans to be extraordinarily expensive, and definitely not seeming like it's worth it as of now, at least. I personally think that it's a bit steep when you look at it in comparison with a lot of the rest of the players that were available in a similar price point, considering Kudos actually went for 55 million to Tottenham. Of all teams, I hate to see that, to be honest. I absolutely love Mohamed Kudus, but him going to Tottenham just ruins it for me. And as well as they just signed Gibbs White as well. I think that was around £60 million. I think they're being sued by Nottingham Forest for whatever reason, some illegal contact. Let's not talk about any of that right now. Noni Madueke ideally plays for Chelsea on the right wing, cuts in. He's the type of player to actually take on a lot of players. Really fluid, great with finishing at times. He's really clinical, quick to get a shot off, not shot shy at all. He's kind of like the opposite of Martinelli in terms of his finishing tactics and how he actually performs outside on the wing, if I can say that. So Martinelli, he does two things, right? He either goes straight to the byline and tries to put in a cross, or just tries to beat the defender, comes across right next to the goalkeeper and try to cut it back, or he runs along the penalty box and tries to shoot it in that angle. He never actually cuts inside into the box, from what I've understood and from what I've seen in his gameplay until now. A fresh breath of air, for sure. And that is definitely something that Arsenal needs. Okay, going through Noni Madueke's stats, I was looking at his last season's performance, and it seems that his best season ever until now when it comes to goal contributions was last season, whereby he came across with 15 goals and assists, whereby 11 goals were scored across all competitions, which is great. Okay, it's great, but it's not up to the mark that you'd be extremely impressed per se. Like a lot of the wingers that we were looking at, Adam Al-Lukman, for an example, 20 goals and assists, 20 goals and then 8 assists, or whatever the numbers were. I try to put it up on this video as well. But Noni Madueke's stats are not the most important thing that you'd be able to look at to analyze his skills the best way possible. But the main factor to consider when it comes to his game is the fact that he is not the primary right winger when it comes to Chelsea, or he wasn't, because Pedro Neto actually came in mid-season, or actually in the beginning of at the end of the summer. He came in, took that right wing spot for a long time. Cole Palmer played there for a lot of the games. He was often being played out of position, being jumbled across, being brought on as a sub. He wasn't exactly given a stable platform there, which is kind of what is going to be expected off of him at Arsenal as well. But it's not the best, but let's be honest, it is what we got now, isn't it? According to FBref numbers, his progressive carries are around 6.82 per 90, which is an incredible stat. He's in the 99th percentile among the world's best. So that is something. And when it comes to touches in the opposition's box, it's 8.15, which is an incredibly high stat as well. It's 96th percentile in the world. For the wingers and attackers, that is an incredibly impressive stat. What he's really bad at is passing for some reason. The passes attempted, he's not really high on that list. In fact, his lowest stat is passes attempted. It's just 30 passes, 30 passes per 90, which is an incredibly low stat. I would have expected it to be a lot higher, but maybe Chelsea is just a lot more direct than us, but the wingers in our teams actually push it back a lot instead of carrying it out and just putting in crosses straight away. But his passes attempted are extremely low. His assists are extremely low when it comes to the stats. Although so shot creating actions is also a supporting tactic, so that is supporting attribute in a sense, but it's also another attribute that represents a player's playmaking abilities. Noni Madueke is definitely not a playmaking type. Let's get that out of the way right away. Okay, about how Noni Madueke is actually going to be used as an Arsenal player. There's two main ways I personally think that he may be used, and one of them is quite rogue, and the second one obviously is of him being used as a left winger or as a backup. The first option, which I want to introduce to you guys, is him playing on the right wing and Saka being played on the left wing. Now I know a lot of people would actually be critical of the fact that, okay, Saka is definitely our best player. Why are you gonna want to move him to a different position? Why would you move the best player of our team into a different position to accommodate a new signing who is still yet to prove his qualities, who is still yet to prove that he can score enough goals to actually warrant a player like that to change positions? Now, okay, hear my point out. Noni Madueke is definitely one of those players that creates chances for himself. He's more of a player to cut inside and try to create a shot for himself, score a goal, or at least a shot. Just try to test the keeper at some point. Saka, on the other hand, is known for his playmaking abilities, his movement on the ball, his dribbling, him trying to basically cause havoc in the defense. He is one of those people that can dribble past players, but he is known more for trying to cross it into the striker, cross it into the left winger, and try to create chances in that sense. Him being moved to the left wing with his dominant foot on the left, I believe, can give him a lot more freedom when it comes to the playmaking efforts, whereby Noni Madueke, knowing as the assist numbers are that low, knowing that he doesn't create as many shot creating actions, he is not known for his playmaking skills. Him being moved to the left wing is going to be a waste of his talent, I personally think, and he is definitely not the left wing signing that we were talking about earlier, or we have been craving until now. We might have to get a different player in that particular position, but I don't personally believe that Noni Madueke is the guy for that position. Now, the second option obviously is the fact that we can use Noni Madueke on the left wing, but I personally am of the opinion that it's going to be a waste of his talent and a waste of our time as well. I think even Martinelli can perform better in that position. I do not rate Martinelli higher anymore. I personally believe that Trossard is our best left winger in the club right now, barring maybe Jesus playing there. I don't know, but okay, that's pretty much what I wanted to say in that topic. Now, I did want to mention the fact that Eze is going to be another player that we're looking at the moment, even though Fabrizio and David Ornstein both have mentioned the fact that he's probably going to be used as a number 10 replacement or as a left 8 replacement that we are looking at as a separate signing out of Gyökeres and out of the left wing or Noni Madueke signing as per se. I personally think Eze can actually be used on the left wing as well, and which would ideally be a great attacking option. I'm going to make a separate video trying to talk about him as well. But basically, I personally think Noni Madueke is not deserving of all that criticism that's coming across him right now. All the hate that he's receiving at the moment is only because he came from Chelsea. And the fact that we're paying 50 million for a player while not having bought a striker. I think more of why Arsenal fans are hating on Noni Madueke is because we haven't bought a striker yet. It's comparison being the thief of our joy. It's not necessarily Noni Madueke as an individual deal. It's an overall chasm of what Arsenal has accomplished so far in the window, and we have still not accomplished that top of our forward line. Even though I personally think that it's not gonna fix our attack. I think these are the players, Noni Madueke, Eberiche, Eze, players like this are what is actually gonna fix our attacking threat problem. We don't have enough firepower. We don't have enough players to actually carry the ball into the box and try to create something. We have players that can put it away. I know people keep telling me that Gyökeres is probably the guy that is supposed to be doing that first, but Havertz scores goal first. Marino scores goal first. Jesus can come in as well, whenever he is not on the hospital bed, I guess. Trossard has played there and still scored a few goals. I personally think that having that number 9 is a subsequent fact that we should be looking at. At the moment, I think we should be looking at people that can actually carry the ball into that box and try to create something, which is what we have been lacking entirely, I would say. But having that peak number 9, it is important eventually. Yeah, it is definitely something we're lacking. But should we be discounting what Madueke can do because we haven't bought a striker yet? I personally don't think so. This is something that we needed to address for so long. For the past 3 seasons, every single game that Saka played that wasn't against the top 6 sides, people would be saying that why is Saka not being rested? Why is Saka not being rested now? All of a sudden, when we have actually went out and got a right wing backup, all the people have been like, oh, but we need a left winger, we need a striker, but we need a number 10. I personally think Arsenal fans just we're too critical. It's just as simple as that, I think. But look at Noni Madueke as an individual signing. Look at his highlight package, if you would say that. Look at how well he performs as a Chelsea player. Even he's in a weaker squad at the moment. Be honest. Do you actually think that he's a bad player? Do you actually think he's not going to be a good fit for us? Do you actually think he's going to be played on the left wing instead? Do you actually think he can be played as a false 9? Arteta loves putting players out of position on the false 9 and striker role. Is he going to be one of those players? Let me know in the comments. Speak to you guys later. Bye.